we are picking up where I left off from part 1 of this video series. Seeing how long it takes me to finish my TBR that is ever growing. So since that last video started, I have accumulated at least 6 more books. So this is fun. This is my next and/slash current book, Twisted Lies by Ana Huang. This is book 4 of the series. I read the first 3 last year. I didn't know that there was going to be a 4th one when I read those, otherwise I would have waited, but I really liked them. The second one was my favorite / is my favorite. Maybe this will take the cake, but I loved the second one and just the first 3 in general. So I'm really excited to read this one. The only problem is that I have this in like the physical copy, but the other 3 I read on Kindle Unlimited. So now I need to buy the first 3 so I have the full series, because look how pretty it is. Like, it's so cute. I love it. So I'm very excited to read this one. This one's a long one. Let's see how many pages she is. 551 pages. Super excited for this one. So let's get timing. It's midnight and I'm 200 pages in. I wanted to go to bed like 2 hours ago and I am just absolutely sucked into this. Like, I cannot stop reading it. So yeah, I'm 200 pages, so just shy of halfway done, which is crazy because this is a 550 page book. But yeah, it's so good. It's been 2.5 hours so far for 200 pages, so I feel like that's pretty good. But yeah, just wanted to check in because I love this. Okay, I just finished Twisted Lies. 5 stars. This is such a 5-star series for me. All 4 books I loved. There's a spin-off series, I believe. I need them right now. 6 hours and 36 minutes, I think. It's a thick one, which is why it took so long. But I loved it. Loved every second. The next book I chose to read from my TBR is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo 2 years ago, I think now, almost. Like, I think it was probably September or October of 2021. I read that, and so I'm really excited to read this one, especially because it just became a series on Amazon Prime, I think. So that's really exciting. I'm really kind of nervous about this one because I really loved Evelyn Hugo, but this one is in like kind of like a script, I guess. So like on here, it's like in bold the person who's about to like speak, and then like what does it say? This whole book is in dialogue, and so that's a little bit daunting to me, but I'm excited about it. I also have One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so if I love this one, I might just read that one next. But this is what I'm going into next, so I'm really excited. Okay, it's a couple days later, and I finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I already put it on my bookshelf, and I'm too lazy to go get it. So, I finished it. I liked it. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. I gave it like a 3.5, 4-star-ish thing. I really liked it by the end. The beginning was a little bit slow for me, so it took me a while to get into it. But once I did, I really liked it. Hi, I'm in the middle of editing this, and I'm just popping in here to tell you that I actually changed my rating from 3.75, I think is what I gave it originally, to 5 stars after I let it like sit in my brain. I literally couldn't stop thinking about it. It just, all the characters, I have like the album on my phone. I'm obsessed. So I changed my my rating to 5 stars because I rated it that right after I was done writing it. So yeah, it has been changed to a 5-star. It took me 4 hours and 39 minutes to finish, so I'm very excited about that. And we're on to the next book, which is The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley, or Karina Hale, I don't really know. I think it's Halley. I saw this in the bookstore. I had literally never heard anybody talk about it, but it just sounded fun to me, so I picked it up and I'm gonna start it. So I will let you know how this one goes. Okay, I can see this video being a little bit boring, so I'm gonna try to switch it up a little bit and add like different segments and things, but it's been a really long time since I have updated this video. I finished Royals Next Door. I liked it. It was okay. I'm gonna do like a little monthly reading wrap up, separate video, and like tell you all about this. I really didn't love it at all. It wasn't the worst book I've ever read, but it is not the best. So it's okay. I gave it a 2.5 stars, and I read this book in 3 hours and 40 minutes. So then I also read My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. 5 stars. Christina Lauren did it again. I love them. I love this author. I don't know why my camera's being so glary. Hold on. Better? Yes. I loved this book. I read this so quickly. Literally, it was almost in one sitting. But I had to cook dinner and do all of those things, so it wasn't in one sitting, but it almost was. And I finished this one in 3 hours and 25 minutes. Highly recommend. I loved this. A cute little friends to lovers. It just was so cute. Not as good as Love in Other Words, but very, 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 very close. Not like the same vibes at all either. So I love this one. And then I also read half of the book Seraphina by Rachel Hartman for school, but I'm not really including this in this video because it was a school book. It's not really on my TBR. So now I am finally, after waiting for a very long time, putting it off, and reading The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I wanted to read this book when I first heard about it like 2 years ago, and I just hadn't gotten it. And then I got it for Christmas or my birthday, one of the two. Hello, interruption, and now Parlay is up here. So I got it for my birthday or Christmas or something, and I was really excited to read it, and then I found out that they were making a movie of it, and I was like, that's pretty cool, but I want to read the book before I read the movie. And then I think it came out on Prime, something it came out on, and I saw the casting for it, which was Lucy Hale. I don't love Lucy Hale. I don't. And so the vibe that I was getting from like what I had seen of like trailers and stuff, I was like, no. But everybody loves the book, so I feel like I need to give the book a try, give it a shot. The thing is though, I watch Destiny Sidwell on YouTube. I love her book videos, and she did a video where she reread her 5-star reads, and this was one of them, and then she reread it and gave it 3 stars. So it's kind of scary to me because she originally read it when it like first was popular. She was still like getting back in the game of reading, so her taste was a little bit different, and now after reading a lot, she gave it 3 stars. So I'm really nervous because I've never read it before. This is my first time going into it, and I have reading experience and like read a bunch of other things, so I'm nervous that I'm not gonna like it as much as everybody said they did. But a lot of the critiques that she had, I feel like I could see past, so I don't know. I'm nervous, but I'm excited to go into this one. So I think I'm going to start this one tonight, and I will let you know how it goes. Hello, welcome back. I have just finished The Hating Game by Sally Rooney. Guys, I loved it. It lived up to the hype. I was so nervous going into this book because I have seen so many good reviews on it, but then I saw the casting for the movie, and I was like, now this is going to be in my head the whole time I read it, but it wasn't. And I saw Destiny Sidwell's video where she reread her 5-star reads, which she originally gave this book 5 stars and then reread them a few years later, and then it changed it back to a 3-star. So that really, like, kind of made me nervous, but I'm so glad that I read it. This literally, I have had this for over a year just sitting, and I'm so happy I finally read it. I really liked it, and I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because it gave me a lot of feels, but not, it didn't, I'm not like gonna sit here and think about it. Also, this is the first book I've ever tabbed while reading. So I've gone back and like tabbed some of my favorite parts from my Slam series by Colleen Hoover, but I didn't do it properly because I wasn't doing it while I was reading, so I'm sure I've missed so many things in that book, and I really want to go back and reread that anyway, and then annotate as I'm reading. But, or not annotate, but I guess just tab. So this is the first one I did. All of the colors are not significant to anything. They don't mean anything. I just did random colors as I wanted to, and what I tabbed was like things that made me laugh or things that made me feel things. Words, phrases, anything that made me feel a feeling was what I tabbed. I don't know, but I really enjoyed the tabbing process, so I think I'm going to keep doing it. 4 stars, maybe 4.5, we'll see. I need to let it simmer a little bit more. It's only been a couple of hours since I finished it. But now I have to pick my next book. And I'm really indecisive because I really want to read a fantasy book, but as I've mentioned in my previous video and maybe in earlier clips of this video, I am still reading books for school. And I don't like reading 2 books at once, so I like to finish them, you know, like I'm gonna finish the second half of my school book, and then I'm gonna read one of these, and then do another book for school. So I don't want to start a series, and all of the fantasy that I do have is a series, except the Atlas 6, but that does have a second book I don't have yet, so I don't know. And I don't like pausing series and then reading books in between like I would have to for my school books, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna go into like more, maybe like darker romances. Not darker necessarily, but less cutesy rom-com and more like non-cutesy rom-com. So the books that I have picked up to choose between is Sweet Filthy Boy by Christina Lauren. I love Christina Lauren, and I was literally just on a spree one time at Barnes & Noble just buying their books. Like, literally, I bought like 5. Some of them I'd never heard of, like Twice in a Blue Moon. I read that in the last video, and I loved that book, but I'd never heard anybody talking about it, but I'm really glad that I got it, and so I'm really hoping that it'll be the same with this. This is actually the first book in a series. I don't have the rest, and I don't think it's like a series where you have to read it all at the same time to understand it. I like to read them all together just so I'm in the same universe, but I don't know if it's going to be possible with this one. And the other one I have is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I really want to read this one. This one's 665 pages though, which is like daunting. But it is like the vibe I want. Like, it's not super, as for what I've heard, it's not super cutesy rom-com. It's very much slow burn, which also scares me because I don't really like slow burn, and I've heard Mariana Zapata just can drag it on a little long, and I can see why. She needs a story. So I don't know, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. So I'm gonna finish Seraphina, and then we're gonna go into, guys, I just opened the book to literally a random page. It's probably backwards for you, but it says, "I smiled at the door. That's my girl." Deceased. It's official. This is the one I'm reading. I'll see you guys later. So I ended off that last clip very straightforward. I'm gonna read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. However, things have changed. I'm now gonna read One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was a contender for my next read, and I chose Wall of Winnipeg and Me over it, obviously. But I just learned that this book is becoming a movie, and it's coming out next week. Can we, okay. And so I want to read this so I can go see the movie. So I'm going to read this first, and then Wall of Winnipeg and Me. That will be in this video, so don't worry. But this is what we're reading first, and then that, so yay. Play. Alright, you're gonna play with your rope right now? Wow. It's literally 10 o'clock at night. It's 10 o'clock at night. Wish me good luck. I just finished One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and let me just tell you that the grip that this book has on my soul is astronomical. Another 5-star read. So every single Taylor Jenkins Reid book I've read has been 5 stars. Tell me how that happens. Tell me how that works. I don't know what she's putting in these books, but they are so good. I love them. This one is about Emma, and she marries her high school sweetheart Jesse, and they go on all of these travel adventures together, and they live their lives together, and they're living their dreams together. And one day he's going on a trip and is in a fatal helicopter crash and dies. So we go through her grief and her journey of finding herself and her growing and everything, and then she falls in love with her high school crush, Sam, and they get engaged, and they're about to get married very, very soon, and she gets a call that her husband is actually alive. Jesse is actually alive. This is not a spoiler, this is all in the back of the book. And then you just have to, like, figure out who she's gonna end up with, and you're rooting for them both, really. But it's so good. It's so good. I was worried I wasn't gonna like it, but I really loved it. So definitely recommend. 5 out of 5. Nothing much more to say about this one other than you need to read it. So next up is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, so I will check in with you guys when I start that. Okay, so I just wanted to come in here and check in with you guys about The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I'm not done yet. I'm 50% of the way through. I just got out of the shower, so we're gonna ignore my hair. But I like it so far. I have to say that I was really expecting the slow burn to kill me, because I am a meet cute, insta love kind of girly. Like, point blank, straight up. Like, you meet, you touch hands, and you're like, oh my god, I'm in love with you. Like, that kind of thing. I love it. So this isn't that at all. I'm on page 339, and there is 0 romance to be found. So there's that. There have been, like, little teeny sprinkles of things that Aiden has done for her to show that he cares, but and I know that that is, like, what people say is how Aiden shows his emotion is through his actions and not really so much as his words, but there's only been, like, 2 things that he's done so far, and, like, the amount that I've read is basically a whole book. Like, this book is the size of 2 books combined, so it's been almost the entire length of a regular book, and he's done, like, 2 things. So it is a very slow burn, and I thought that I would hate it and have to DNF this because I just couldn't get through it, but I really am, and I'm enjoying the story, and I like it a lot. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be a 5-star read for me. I don't think it will be, but we still have another 300 something pages left, so things could always turn. So yeah, I like it. I'm glad that I'm getting to see a bit into the Mariana Zapata fan craze because this is the first Mariana Zapata book I'm reading, and I've heard so many good things about her, so I'm just excited that I get to. I also have From Love with Love, but that might be in part 3 because I feel like I've done too many books in this video. I think this is the 6th one, so this is where we are now. And I am back with a official update. We're gonna ignore my hair. I showered and had it in a bun, so now it looks like this. Anyways, I finished The Wall of Winnipeg and Me last night. I really liked it. I think, did I put a little update in here? I don't remember if I did or not. If I did not, I'm really surprised that the slow burn didn't kill me, because usually I hate slow burn. I love insta-love and just like, I don't know, a meet cute. Like, I love that. This was not that. This definitely was a slow burn. You literally didn't get like a real relationship until maybe this much of the book. Like, this much was just, I don't know. It was a very slow burn, but I really liked it. On Goodreads, I initially gave it 4 stars, but I think I'm gonna bump it down to like a 3.75 because there is a lot of grammatical errors in here, which usually isn't like a big deal, but like there was a lot. For such a big book, you'd think, not like big in this, but like it's for such a popular book, you'd think the editing would be a little bit better. Like, the teacher in me, or the student teacher in me, is screaming because there were so many grammatical errors in this book. And I don't know, I didn't love it, but I didn't not like it. Like, I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars initially, I think, because I'd spent so much time reading about these characters and this world that I felt like I had to love it because I was in it for such a long time. Like, how could I not? But thinking about the story overall, it didn't hit as much as I really wanted it to. I had a lot of high hopes for this book, and a lot of my expectations were met, and I'm really glad that I was able to lower my expectations a little bit with this one going into it, because at first, when I was first gonna pick it up, I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to read this. Everybody loves this book. Like, it's gonna be great. And then I had heard that it was like a super slow burn, so I was able to prepare myself for that. I think that helped me. Being able to prepare for the super slow burn made me like it a lot more than if I just got into it thinking it would be immediate. So if you read this book, make sure you go into it knowing that it's a really slow burn. And yeah, but other than that, I really liked it, and I definitely recommend it. It just didn't meet my full expectations, which is why it's not as high as rating. But I mean, 3.75 is still good, because 4 stars is what I give most books. Well, not most. 4 stars is like I love those books, they're amazing. 5 stars are just like the special ones, you know? So 3.75. This book also took me almost exactly 8 hours to finish, which seemed like a lot, but it is a 665 page book, so that's why also it was slow burn, so it didn't really catch me, I guess, as much. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add up all of my times, see how many pages it was, and I will do a wrap up. Okay, so I've tallied everything up. For part 2, we spent a total of 34 hours and 43 minutes, or 2,083 minutes, and read a total of 2,958 pages. So if we add that to part 1, our total now is 62 hours and 18 minutes, or if you want to put that in minutes, it is 3,738 minutes, and a total of 5,431 pages since we started part 1. So that's what, 13 books I think I've done? 13 or 14 books that I've read. That's crazy. So that is going to wrap up our part 2, and I'm going to pick up on part 3 right where we left off. So I will see you in part 3.